Johnson, their best defender. So their best defender's on the bench.
Campbell, outside, Bailey for the lead. Got it! Got it! Oh! Got it!
Oh, because you've also dominated the offensive glass. Chances are you'll get more than one opportunity.
Crawford for the lead.
Unbelievable basketball last night. March Madness continues. The Gonzaga Zags, no, they're the Bulldogs, beat UCLA. UCLA came back. They were winning, then they were losing by 10, and then they came back to win. Great night of basketball, kind of. Couple bad games, couple really good games, including one that people are calling historic, which I think is letting your imagination run away with you a little bit. A historic individual performance and a very good ball game. Kansas State, Michigan State. This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, video stuff, news, narratives, takes, gambling. I scroll the internet so you don't have to. If you don't want to, or you have a job and you're a grown-up. Good morning. I'm not sick. You're sick. I'm getting better. I woke up and I had, one of those sinus things in like half of my face. So things are moving around. It's going to be good. Yes. So buzzer beater UCLA had a chance at a buzzer beater that would have tied the game, I think, won the game. I don't recall, but it was close. Gonzaga advances. Also last night, historic game from Kansas State. Let's watch the end of overtime. Michigan State tie it. What's up?
Walker drives it with 5 on the clock. Walker scores!
5 seconds left. This game goes to overtime.
Assist number 17 for Nowell. Second most
17 assists for Nowell.
Keontae Johnson on the receiving end. You fall asleep.
Watch this. Watch this alley-oop. This is historic stuff. 2 for 1. Nope. Oop it.
Up and he gets behind him.
Look at the time and place that they did that. Okay, it's 90-90 with a $1:51 left. Here's Michigan State. Don't care. Michigan State is up 2 when he does this. This is crazy. Oh my God. I watched that Kansas State team in person. I watched them play Montana State. Montana State gave them a run. Montana State's a tough team, pretty experienced. But man, this Nowell kid, pretty good at basketball. Marquise Nowell, he's like 5'7", 5'8". He had 20 points and 19 assists, and they were beautiful, crazy assists. So if you watch that play back, and I guess let's mute it so I don't get in trouble. If you watch it, it'll be on your screen here, hopefully. Bam. It looks like it's a fake out, like he's arguing with his coach, and the play is like a trick play, like in football. Tua Tagovailoa in Alabama have done this before. He's like, what do you want? What do you want? And it makes it look like they're trying to distract the defense and no one's paying attention, and then he just oops it. No, what happens is he did just see that guy cutting out of the corner of his eye, and he just like hucked in the ball, and it could not, like, look at where it was, like, unbelievable. That was a real argument. They were arguing whether or not he wanted a 2 for 1, and for those of you that don't know basketball, a 2 for 1 is when you try to get your shot attempt with more, like about 10 seconds left more on the game clock than the shot clock, so that you get 2 attempts. Your opponent would have to shoot once before the end of the period, right? So if there's like 30 seconds left in the shot clock, you'd want to attempt a shot with about 40 seconds left in the quarter or half, so that your opponent would then have to shoot, and then you could theoretically have the ball last. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's the idea. And they were arguing about that. It's an aggressive strategy from offensive teams. And then he was just like, fuck it. I see that guy open. I'm going to go for it. And he did. It was amazing. Other scores from last night. Tennessee lost. My bad. FIU is just a good basketball team, which is annoying. UConn beat the shit out of Arkansas. Destroyed them. We are in the level of the cool stuff in March Madness always happens in the first 3 games. We've now gotten to the boring part of March Madness. Always bet the boring shit. Always, always, always. So, like, just theoretically, what's the most boring college basketball thing that can happen tonight? Miami versus Houston, Alabama versus San Diego State, Alabama, Princeton, Creighton, Xavier, Texas, maybe Texas. Doesn't really matter. That one's tied. San Diego State beating Alabama would be pretty cool. I am actively, openly rooting for that. Plus, it also starts at 6:30, which would be nice. I also want to watch Princeton, Creighton. I did not figure out why that game is not on the books. It is still, however, not on the goddamn books. See, FanDuel, and I think DraftKings also does not have Princeton Creighton odds. Been getting their ass kicked. San Diego State, let's look at odds for tonight. San Diego State, 7.5-point underdogs. Love them to cover that spread. I mean, the back door is wide open in these games. Houston is 7.5-point favorites as well. Xavier's 4.5-point favorites over Texas, and Florida, Atlanta. Oh, no, that's Princeton Creighton can't bet on those games. I like I like all the dogs in the spread. I think Texas is going to win, but I think that, you know what I mean? Like, I think that Texas is going to win, but I think the better bet would be betting on Xavier. Who's got the best odds? San Diego State's playing minus 110. So, yeah, I would bet on San Diego State just for fun. That's what I'm rooting for, and that's the point of March Madness. Also, these are kids, and, like, actually thinking you're going to read out what's going to happen like that guy. Marquise Nowell can just decide that, oh, I'm the best player on the court, so I'm going to win the game. I do like the San Diego State bet. San Diego State outright is not as fun. I mean, San Diego State spread is like you feel a little safer. So even if they're close, because in March Madness, how many times you've been rooting for a team and it almost happens? Like, well, if you'd bet the spread, you'd have won. So that's what I like. And then the Elite Eight will happen starting tomorrow with the first game, Florida Atlantic versus Kansas State. That's like mid-afternoon, right? No, early evening, 6 p.m. Yeah. Okay. NFL news. Ezekiel Elliott's going to be released, or he has been released. I don't know, but he wants to sign with the Eagles, the Bengals, like the Chiefs or somebody. He wants to win a championship, and I think he wants to stick it to the Cowboys. I don't think the Eagles are going to sign him. That's just my personal opinion. The NFL rules, whatever, will meet today, or they release a list soon about the rules that they're going to look to change. And one of the things that people have been talking about, they're calling it the tush push, which is that Jalen Hurts QB sneak, where the offensive, they get like guys behind the QB and they just like push him. Some teams think that's like cheating because you could theoretically do that all the time. You can't, because there are no offensive lines as good and as compact as the Eagles. Like, they're the only team that can do that. There have been coaches say that they vow to use the tactic aggressively. You should. I mean, these tush pushes are good. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. It is an effective tool. It is definitely an effective tool. And I think a lot of these people, they're just mad that they can't stop it, so they want to change the rule, which is some crybaby shit. The competition committee is also not going to try to ban hip drop tackles. The hip drop tackle is where you grab them by the hip and then you just drop all your weight. It has hurt people's knees and ankles before, but like, I mean, that's tackling. You go down, I guess, learn how to get tackled. Because you see guys like Mahomes, that's how he's twisted his ankle and shit. You got to get tackled, man. Like, if they got you, these people fight for extra yards, that's fine. That's your job. But injuries happen. The defense can't get screwed. That's an objectively safe thing. It hurts your legs, but go down. I don't know. That's where we're at right now with those. I don't know. I'm trying to look at which rule proposes they are going to look at, but I know that those two were actually kind of making me mad. They're looking at things like the fair catch. Should it go to the 25-yard line? Let's look at the rule changes here. This is per Tom Pelissero at NFL whatever. Thank God I have a cough button. That's so enjoyable. Let's see. No, it's not going to let me zoom in. All right, there we go. Let's just do that. There's Tom. Rule changes. So, yeah, I mean, I think to change the definition of a launch, just like boring shit. But the big ones I don't think are going to happen. I think that the fair catch thing is interesting, 25-yard line. They do the math, and all that happens when you move it up is people are incentivized to kick the ball more. That's a perverse incentive. You can Google it. It's a fun Google. Let's check in with Tom Izzo, who always a classy guy after games. Why did your team lose, Tom?
That doesn't rip your heart out, Coach. I don't know what will. Walk me through that last minute.
Yeah, I'm so proud of these guys for a lot of reasons. I mean, give them credit, but I mean, they banked in 2 shot clock threes. And they made some big plays, but some of those plays weren't big plays. They were lucky plays.
Oh, great baby Tom Izzo. He lost against State. It was lucky. It was lucky. Recruit better players, coach better. Yes, it was lucky. It's college basketball. Like the team that the team that wants it more wins. The team that's focused is win. I mean, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, which is what we love about it. Speaking of an absolute mess, I saw one of the worst hockey plays I've ever seen in my life. One thing that I love about all of these unions bargaining for having to practice less is the guys suck a little more. And when I say suck a little more, I don't mean that they're less good at hockey or baseball. I mean that they make mistakes that you would make at a lower level, that practicing for 50 hours a day and playing in the minors for 15 years, that beats out of you. For example, watch this giveaway. I don't know which team gave this away, but they gave it away to the Capitals. It's a goalie playing the puck, and he's between the boards and his net, and he just hands it to the.
Hasn't played in a long, long time. He's usually
Look at where he is right here. He's like below the circle, between the circle and the goal line, right in the middle.
good with the puck.
Whoop, and he just like hands it to the guy.
Because notice on that play coming in is Protus. He was
look at
looking
this.
to go there. See, look at
It's the Blackhawks goalie. I don't know who it is. He hasn't played. They're doing call-ups. It's that time of year. I don't know what's going to happen to that guy. Actually, if I scored that goal, I mean, you're a competitive guy. You want a nice, easy goal. But if I were like a really good goal scorer who had a lot of goals, I'd actually feel bad. I'd be like, dude, Washington won the game. Did they win the game? I'm going to fact check that because I'm pretty sure I saw they won the game. Shouts to a TikTok ban. Yeah, the Capitals won 6-1. I think that goal was probably irrelevant. I'm not saying I wouldn't have taken it. I would have taken it. But it feels weird. It just feels a little weird to take that. Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies, tore his ACL in spring training in a game against Detroit because he can't properly field a ground ball. That's what Philly fans are getting mad at him for. It's just bad luck. And, of course, everyone's like, well, the World Baseball Classic didn't result in injuries. Look, you can get injured playing baseball. Yep, you can get injured doing anything. Ask old people. You sleep wrong like 3 or 4 days. You don't feel yourself. And I'm not even an old guy. In the NFL, this guy named Ken Francis, he's a Florida man. He has allegedly been trying to represent Lamar Jackson in his contract negotiations. The NFL has apparently been pissed off about this because they sent a memo to the entire league saying, do not engage with this Ken Francis guy. Well, Ken Francis and Lamar Jackson are going halvesies or something on something that Ken Francis invented, this workout machine that they're calling like Complete Gym or The Gym or Whole Gym or some shit that's like a knockoff of Total Gym. It's like a box that has weights and stuff in it. It looks really stupid, just so dumb. And the idea now is that maybe this is just a whole ploy for Lamar and this guy to get eyes on their shit. I mean, it's so funny. You have to be certified by the NFL union in order to be an agent. You can't just like pick an agent. There's got to be a guy that goes through a certification process. They're required to go through like training and shit. So all of the agents in the industry are mad. They're mad with players to represent themselves, but they're super mad when a player kind of uses a guy like on the low to negotiate the deal, which Laramie Tunsil does. There's this guy, we might look into him. His name is Saint something. He negotiates deals for guys, but he's not officially an agent, so Laramie probably pays him and doesn't get enough thing. But the NFL gets mad about that because they want there to be the system. The agent community gets mad about that because they want the business, and they also they jump through the hoops. And the teams are mad about it because teams are right now. Lamar Jackson is under contract for the Ravens. Teams are not allowed to call him. It is against the rules to call him, and they don't have anybody to call because you can call. You can talk to the agent. You can talk to the agent about his other clients. You can do whatever. There are ways to go around things. But they can't talk to Lamar. So this guy, whether or not Lamar said vehemently, we're still watching Rhys Hoskins. Lamar said really clearly that this guy doesn't represent him. I don't know what to believe. I think Lamar and the Ravens hate each other, and I don't think it's ever going to be the same. But that's fine. Here, look, you want to watch the machine? Here it is. If you want to watch on YouTube or Spotify, here is it's the entire gym. My business partner Ken and I will be dropping the entire gym this summer. Look at it.
Where? Anytime.
Look at it's just got these dumb looking dumbbells in a box, and there's I can't fucking believe, Lamar, this is why you have an agent. You cannot fucking believe that this is the shit you're endorsing. You're the MVP, bro. They should take this MVP trophy. Look, it's just like an iPad there, and it's like a guy that's works, and you just take it. He's just, now the commercial is him taking it to the field, like a high school field with a track around it, and he's just in the grass doing ab workouts with this guy yelling at him on an iPad with a cabinet full of weights. This is objectively stupid. Chuck Norris' Total Gym apparently is actually really good and very hard and will make you stronger. I don't know what this is. This seems like you just went to Home Depot and threw shit in a box and put wheels on it. I don't know. I'll make fun of Lamar for this. It's not dumb that he's representing himself. People think that, I mean, it's not as advantageous in my opinion, but that's a whole intellectual debate. It is dumb that he thought it was cool to endorse this thing. It is dumb that this guy is pretending to be his agent. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. The entire gym on Twitter, how many followers do they have? 589. They just joined in June 2022. Wow. Wonder what Lamar owns, like all of the company? Wow, dude, get your head out of your ass, man. What are we doing? Back and better than ever on Monday. Bet boring. It's college basketball. Bet boring.